Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the spawn enemies. I believe this is Super Battle Road. But yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the Swan Enemies Super Battle Road and basically how you can build a team. Now, Swan Enemies as a category has a lot of issues. Firstly, availability of lead is just very difficult for Swan Enemies. A lot of the reasons being, quite simply, there's not a lot of leads. You only have two currently in the game, the LR Full Power Freezer, and you also have the Int Majin Buu Good. Not bad choices at all. Int Majin Buu Good's obviously a pretty exceptional unit, if I must be honest with you. The more I use them, especially for hard content, the more I really like them. But the thing is yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, it is pretty difficult to obviously incorporate yourself as one enemy's team, because one of the common problems, and I think a lot of players will understand this, is that the units don't link. So for example, Boos and Kid Boos don't really link alongside Freezers and Cells. Cells and Freezers don't really link alongside Buhans. Even Boos themselves don't really link up super duper well. Good Boo doesn't really link up with Kid Boo. Kid Boo doesn't really link up with Good Boo. Buhan kind of links up with both of them. They obviously share decent links, like 3 or 4, but there's difficulties. There's always difficulties. So it is quite difficult to build a Swan Enemies team if you try to incorporate all of them. But if you focus on certain subsections, I think you tend to have a really good time with these teams. Like if you build mainly Majin Power, like I have, if you build mainly Wicked Bloodlines, if you build mainly Android Cell Saga or Artificial Life Forms, I think you tend to have a better time. I think you tend to find that your units work better, things work better, everything works better. And yeah, that's how I would approach it. So I've done that. I've built a Majin Power team. I think overall the Majin Power team functions in a pretty good space. If I'm being honest with you, I think everything functions really well here. Obviously lots of attack and defense down debuffing, which is kind of what I was going for. We have the physical Buhan or Buu Gohan, Go Tanks or Buu Tanks, sorry, but not the LR version, the SSR version that got his easy A, and he's really good. 60% attack down, 30% defense down, really awesome. Alongside him, we have the strength Majin Buu Good, fantastic AoE damage dealer who does a really awesome job. And just dealing consistently good AoE damage, getting crits, getting normals, being able to take out enemy, weaken other enemies. It's really nice stuff. And then we have the Evil Buu. So Evil Buu actually works great because Evil Buu also debuffs the opposition. So between Evil Buu and Buhan, if you have them on a rotation, they actually reduce the attack of the opposition by 80%, which is a lot. Like, that is a lot. 80% attack and defense down is really insane if you think about it. And I think that's something that, I don't want to say like, you could build a no item run off of that. I would probably, if I was doing a no item run, I would probably run the Int Majin Buu, double Int Majin Buu, and I would probably run my own Buhan just for like extra power. But I think outside of that, like, you can run this team in a lot of ways if you're doing the Majin Buu variant. I do think the Majin Buu variant is also the best version. Wicked Bloodlines is okay. It's in like a decent space, cool. You can run Wicked Bloodlines if you want to. Cell Saga Artificial Life Forms probably the one I wouldn't run the most, just off the cup of my head. But you can run whichever one you want, really. I think all 3 teams will finish it. I think all 3 teams will beat it relatively comfortably. So I don't think there's like a huge issue with that. Like, I think most teams will handle it decently. I think you'll be able to deal with it fine. So yeah. I think overall this team build's good. I think it could be better. I think players probably will run better. But yeah, I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's a pretty good run. With that being said, I think for me, I gotta be honest, I think you should probably stick with Majin Power. Not item running this, also probably fairly simple. Throw in a tech boo, throw in double int Majin boos, and probably more than fine from there. So like, I think ultimately at the end of the day, this is just a pretty nice run with a decent-ish amount of options that you just need to obviously build specifically into, more so than just trying to run a whole bunch of sworn enemies. I mean, you could, but I just probably wouldn't ultimately at the end of the day. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope to see you guys in the next one.